finish discussing several things that we couldn't finish 2 weeks ago. Okay, now today we are going to finish this. We're discussing four terms. The first one was macroeconomic, macroeconomic, and the other one was normative economics and positive economics. We haven't discussed it, and today we're going to try to finish this discussion about these two terms. Okay, let's begin then. Okay, macroeconomics. Like it says, micro, the prefix says micro, something small, algo pequeñito, would suggest macroeconomics examines specifics, individuals, elements in an economy. The elements include prices, costs, profits, competitions, and behavior of consumers and producers. Microeconomics can help you understand how the sandwich shop or McDonald's, for instance, the owner of McDonald's arrive at the price of the lunch you bought today. I haven't bought any lunch today. While the neighborhood has several sandwich shops offering the same kind of food. This is an example. And also in macroeconomics, they talk about why some families buy a used car rather than a new car, and why the mom and pop's grocery store in your neighborhood closed after the superstore opened nearby. Well, this thing doesn't happen here in Panama. Maybe in the United States, right? But not here. Okay, macroeconomic versus macroeconomic. Microeconomics studies how coffee, this is an example, how coffee prices affects competitions among coffee shops. While macroeconomics studies how coffee prices affect the whole economy. Economy as a whole. That's what this, they discuss, okay? Macroeconomics. Macroeconomic, as its prefix macro, means large, big, huge, which suggests examine the economy as a big picture, the big picture. Over here was the small picture, an individual, and this one, macroeconomic, the economy as a big picture, as a whole. While the limited spending power of an unemployed person would be in the realm of microeconomics, the effect of widespread unemployment on the whole nation would be a microeconomic issue, definitely. For instance, what we're living right now, that there are several sectors here in the economy that is not working, that affect the macroeconomic. Now there's a picture where describe units and topics that are involved in each sector of the economy. Remember, the economy could be divided into micro and macro. Let's begin with the micro. Microeconomics, the study of the individual consumer. Unit of study, consumer market, business markets, labor markets. And what topics are involved in this sector? Market, prices, costs, profits, competition, government regulation, consumer behavior, and business behavior. Now, on the other hand, microeconomics, the study of the whole economy. Unit of study, they study economic growth, el crecimiento económico, economic stability, la estabilidad económica, and international trades, negociaciones internacionales. That's what are involved, units that study the macroeconomics. Topics of interest in macroeconomics: money, banking, finance, government taxes, impuestos gubernamentales, and spending policy, política de gastos y políticas de gastos. Employment and unemployment, desempleo y empleo, la inflación and inflation. All of these are topic of interest in the macroeconomics. Okay. Now, what macroeconomics considers the individual consumer, macroeconomics studies the consumer sectors, also called the household sector. A sector. What is a sector? A sector is a combination of all the individual units into one large whole. Microeconomics also examines the business sector and the public or government sector, that part of the economy that provides public goods and services. They study the monetary system, the ups and downs, business cycle, and the impact of nation tax policies on the economy. Okay, okay. Now until here, we have been talking about these two economy. As I said, economy is divided. You could split it into microeconomic and macroeconomic, and also we can split the economics in two other ways. Like it says, so economics also can be viewed through another pair of lens, and these pairs are positive economics and normative economics. What is a positive economics? A way of describing and explaining economic as it is, not as it should be. Positive economics involve verifiable facts, not viable judgment. No se preocupen, adelante hay un ejemplo para explicar. Normative economics, a way of describing and explaining what economic behavior ought to be, not what it actually is. Normative economic does involve value judgment. Now, in a normative economic, they involve judgment because it seeks to make recommendation for actions in economic. While here in the positive, no, they don't use that. Positive economic use these scientific methods. Positive scientific method to observe data, hypothesis, test, refine, and continue testing. It's more mathematics. Positive economic, they use more the mathematics. Okay. Suppose, for example, your state is debating the pros and cons, los pros y los contras, of a lottery to raise money, como lotería para levantar dinero, ¿para qué? Para educación, to raise money for the education. In the framework of positive economy, researchers would study data from states with lottery to see if educational spending increased the lottery of where begun. Now, normative economics, in contrast, is based in value judgment. It goes beyond the fact of as its actions are goods. Since the value of people differ, why? Because my value is not the same value as you have. So, do the recommendation based on a normative economics. So they try to do a recommendation based on a normative economics. Now over here, this is the example that I was talking about. Two economists might agree that the data show what states-run lottery results in more money for school, and that many lottery tickets are purchased by people who are poor. Okay, over here there are two different statements and two different reasons to in order for you to raise money through the lottery. Now, their recommendations, however, might differ because they have different values. These two economists have different values. They might make some recommendation. One economist might support a lottery because it increased funding for school. That's one economist. He thinks that it's correct to raise some money through the lottery, while the other says the opposite. The other might oppose a lottery because it places a burden on the poor. Why? Because usually, who are the people who buys lotteries? Poor people. So that is, as it says, that it's gonna get worse for them because they're gonna waste the money trying to change their luck. So that's why the two of them, they have different point of view, okay, based on a normative economics. Now this section is the important one, guys, and I want you to focus. Now, who's this guy? Adam Smith. Adam Smith, I have a lot of picture in my class over there back in the school. Adam Smith es el padre de la economía moderna. Now, if you're going to study economics, if you're going to study business at the university, if you're going to study marketing at the university, if you're going to study finance at the university, you're gonna take a course that is called microeconomic and microeconomic, micro and microeconomic. Okay, now in those subjects that you, of course, that you're going to take, they're gonna mention this guy, Adam Smith, who is the founder of the modern economists. Adam Smith was born in Scotland, 1723, and he went to France. Over here in 1764, he traveled to France to meet many European Enlightenment writers and thinkers. Now, back in those days, he wrote this book. This is the Bible of the economists. Esta es la Biblia de los economistas. The Wealth of Nature. En este libro, el señor Adam Smith habla sobre una famosa, la mano invisible, que es la que hace que toda la economía funcione. ¿Ok? In the West Nation, Smith challenged the idea that mercantilism, ¿qué es el mercantilismo? A system by which the government, el gobierno está envuelto. Se supone que el gobierno no debe estar envuelto. It's a system by which the government in the host land controlled trade with its colonies. Controla los negocios entre sus colonias. ¿Ok? Él dice que no, Adam Smith dice que no, el gobierno no debe envolverse, estar envuelto en ese tipo de transacciones, dice. Instead, he argued a nation would be wealthier, puede ser mucho más rica, if it engaged in a free trade, si se encarga en sus negociaciones sin que nadie esté envuelto. It was in this market where goods could be exchanged freely, en este tipo de mercados donde se puede intercambiar libremente. That Adam Smith saw a new economic relationship, donde Adam Smith encontró una nueva relación económica. Sorry. He reasoned that people behave in ways that satisfy their economic self-interest. Aquí hay un ejemplo. A tailor will make clothes as long as the people will buy them at a price that satisfies him. Definitivamente, no va a tener un negocio donde no te van a pagar lo que tú te estás solicitando, lo que tú estás pidiendo. Como está un negocio para que le paguen lo justo. Y si es así, entonces se va a mantener. So this is the same thing that he's trying to explain in this sentence, okay? According to Adam Smith, an invisible hand guides, es la que guía, the marketplace, el mercado. In such a free market, ambos, los compradores y los vendedores se benefician from each transaction, de cada transacción, okay? Adam Smith's idea of the invisible hand, as well as many other principles, he explained in the Wealth of Nations. Wealth of Nations is the name of that book, where he talks about all these principles. We use it in today's economy. That became the foundation of modern economic theory. Now over here, there's a picture where it talks about this invisible hand. There's a competition and self-interest act as an invisible hand that regulates the free market. La mano invisible regula la competencia y los intereses propios para que se lleve a cabo un mercadeo libre. Okay. Now, profit seeks producers will make more. Profit seeks producer will make more. Needs of society automatically meets. Government does not get involved. Esto es lo que está diciendo, que el gobierno no debe estar envuelto en estos tipos de transacciones. Se debe manejar, ellos lo manejan entre ellos, entre los vendedores y los compradores. Competition keeps quality high. La competición mantiene la calidad alta y la competition keeps the price low. Mantiene el precio bajo. Por supuesto, eso no siempre sucede. Por ejemplo, lo que está sucediendo ahorita mismo con el coronavirus, ¿ok? Se dispararon los precios de ¿qué? El alcohol, el alcoholado y todas estas cosas. Entonces, ¿qué? Tuvo que venir, ¿qué? La ACODECO. Ahí el Estado tiene que meter, tiene que verse envuelto para poder que se normalice y no se abuse del consumidor, ¿ok? Entonces, no siempre este principio de la mano invisible es bueno o regulariza el mercado. ¿Ves? A veces el gobierno debe entrar y tomar acción, como en el caso que tenemos una institución que es la ACODECO, que es la que se encarga de controlar todo este tipo de anomalías en el mercado. ¿Entendido, chicos? Muy bien, hasta aquí termina la sección que nos hacían falta la semana, hace 2 semanas. Aquí están los vocabularios, tratemos de hacer vocabulario. Vocabulario número 4 y me hacen los assessments en la página 31, la 1, 2, 3, 4 y 7. Y también teníamos pendiente, no sé si ustedes lo hicieron, la actividad de las gráficas. ¿Se acuerdan de la actividad de la gráfica? ¿Se acuerdan? No, teacher, no nos acordamos. No hay problema. No hay problema. Vamos a recordárselo. Ustedes tenían que hacerme unas gráficas y eso está en la página que ya yo se la subí allá y está en un PowerPoint que está en el trimestre 1. Puede ser que se abrió una sección del trimestre 2. ¿Se acuerdan de esto? ¿Se acuerdan de esto? Que tienen que hacer una gráfica, una de línea y la otra de barra. ¿Se acuerdan? ¿No se acuerdan?
Esa no fue la que dejó hace tiempo.
¿No se acuerdan? Bueno, no se preocupen, yo se lo voy a poner pues para que se acuerden, ¿ya? Ahora más tarde se lo voy a subir nuevamente en la nueva sección de trimestre número 2, ¿ya? Así que no se preocupen, ya lo van a ver eventualmente. Kelly, pero qué cara que tienes, Kelly, Dios mío, qué pereza. ¿Sabe por qué estás tan así con esa pereza? Esos son los efectos de la, ¿cómo que se llama? La arena, ¿cómo se llama? La arena de Sahara.
Del Sahara.
Esa misma, esa misma. Yo sé que todos estamos así. Chicos, me voy. Ya son las 10:15. Pórtense bien.
Muchas gracias, profesor.
Pórtense bien. Bye, bye. Bye.
Ya, profe, gracias.
Ya.